Brought to you by Penguin.
Cured. Written and read by Dr. Jeff Rediger, MD. I dedicate this book to Rachel Ann Donalds, a magnificent source of color in my life, and to those whose stories don't yet have a voice. Introduction. Unpacking the black box of medical miracles. There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true. The other is to refuse to believe what is true. Soren Kierkegaard. In 2008, the road ahead looked smooth for Claire Hazer. At 63, she'd settled into the rhythm of her life, easily weathering its ups and downs. The map she had sketched out for her future was unfolding just the way she'd drawn it. She and her husband were a couple of years away from retirement. Their kids were grown and doing well, and they had a posse of healthy grandchildren. For most of their adult lives, they lived in Portland, Oregon, with its soft rain, vibrant green parks, and red brick. And for most of her career, Claire had been a healthcare administrator, sitting at a desk all day in a fluorescent-lit room, buried under paperwork. Claire and her husband adored Portland, but their dream was to retire to Hawaii. They'd been saving and planning for it for years, and now it was just around the corner. And then, the axis on which Claire's contented, ordinary life was spinning started to tilt. Worrisome but vague symptoms, increasingly frequent nausea, a stabbing pain that ricocheted through her abdomen, sent her to the doctor. Concerned, her doctor ordered a CT scan. Claire lay on the slab of the CT machine, arms over her head, trying to breathe normally, hoping that the powerful magnetic field her body was passing through would find nothing. But the scan revealed a mass on her pancreas, about 2 centimeters in diameter. A biopsy dashed her last hopes. The mass was malignant, meaning cancerous. Claire was diagnosed with adenocarcinoma of the pancreas, a brutal and incurable form of pancreatic cancer. Cancer is a loaded word in our culture, a modern bogeyman associated more than many illnesses with damage and death. However, the truth is that every cancer varies in regard to the possibilities of a cure and the likelihood of remission. Some cancers are not fatal, and in those instances, one dies not from the cancer, but with the cancer, which can live quietly and unobtrusively in the body for many years until the person passes away from other causes. Some cancers grow slowly but steadily. Others wax and wane for a number of years. Many cancers are deadly when left alone but are highly responsive to treatment, whether that be surgery, chemotherapy, or radiation. Certain cancers will even go away by themselves, while others are not responsive to treatment at all. So any treatment the patient receives is palliative and provided only with the hope of slowing down symptoms. And there are many cancers that live between all of these categories in varying degrees of severity. Here's what we know about Claire's cancer, pancreatic adenocarcinoma. It is the most lethal form of pancreatic cancer that exists. It is rapidly progressive and leads to a brutal death. Approximately 45,000 people are diagnosed each year in the United States and twice as many in Europe. Most are dead by the end of the first year. It is the 4th leading cause of cancer death in both men and women and is projected to soon be the 3rd. A diagnosis of pancreatic adenocarcinoma is a death sentence. The question is not if you will die from the disease, but when. Why is pancreatic cancer so deadly? In the early stages of the disease, there are no symptoms. The cancer progresses silently, stealthily. By the time the first signs emerge, loss of appetite, weight loss, back pain, sometimes mild jaundice, a faint yellowing of the skin and eyes, it's already too late. At that point, the cancer has typically metastasized to other parts of the body. Treatment can prolong a life but not save it. The vast majority of pancreatic cancer patients, 96%, die from the disease within 5 years. Most succumb much sooner. The typical post-diagnosis.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?